Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. We are merely 2 weeks away for Full Gear. Full Gear comes your way, but we got a lot of business to take care of as John Moxley continues to play these six-cent mind games about taking over and hijacking Yes Network. What does he mean by that? He's going to do a hostile takeover on TBS. We'll get that coming up. Also, too, Will Ospreay returns to confront Kyle Fletcher after Kyle Fletcher turns his back on his former best friend. Will Ospreay and him have their moment. We'll talk about it coming up. Also, too, MVP talking about the Hurt Syndicate, which I like to call the Hurt Business. MVP saying that the Hurt Business could have went a little bit further than what they did in WWE. He's going to prove in the AEW. We'll get to that. Plus, too, we got more breaking news as John Cena announced that he's entering the Royal Rumble in 2025 for his last Royal Rumble. We get that as a Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Dynamite Ring Report to start right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling Show here on Connect. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe and share. Tell a friend, call a friend. And we're all live and living color on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So join in that conversation. Let's not waste no time whatsoever. Let's get things started right now on what's going down right now, and we're going to kick it off with this. Orange, we see that Heyman Page may be forming an alliance with Christian. I don't know what's going on with Heyman and Christian, but Heyman Page forming this alliance at the Christian finally got Heyman Page who won him and stuff. I think Christian is trying to find anybody. Christian has the contract, and Christian has the contract that says next AEW champion. Can I see Christian being AEW champion? Perhaps, but I don't know for right now. But I think Christian's trying to make it seem like he can be AEW champion. But this AEW show was a little bit okay. Just didn't really spark nothing in my imagination. But hey, it is what it is. Well, we see that Chris Stanley took out, I think, Mercedes Monet, and Chris Stanley making the challenge that she will challenge Monet for the TBS Championship at Full Gear. So she's making some determination. It's just at first she was turning heel, now she's babyface. It just didn't make no sense, no matter. I was really interested in this. Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay having a confrontation. You know, Kyle Fletcher turned his back on his friend Will Ospreay and cost him the international championship against Takesha in a triple threat match. Now it's personal. These two men want to beat the holy crap out of each other. Will Ospreay even said that he can hold his son with the feeling of his son touching him and stuff. He can't hold the feeling because of what Kyle Fletcher did. And Kyle Fletcher wants a match against Will Ospreay at Full Gear. That match will happen at Full Gear between these two. And Will Ospreay might want to get his hands on Kyle Fletcher the way he want to get his hands on real bad. And they will meet at Full Gear. Likely that's going to be the match of the night right there. Fletcher versus Ospreay one-on-one. So we'll get to see that match heading our way soon. So we'll see. Well, speaking of that, Roger Strong went against Vance Archer. Vance Archer took it to Roger Strong. Roger Strong wants to fight MJF, but what MJF done to him. So there's a lot going on in that story. It just tonight's storyline matches wasn't feeling no effect to me. I feel like a lot of the stars, Tony Khan kind of struggling a little bit. Maybe he gonna have to rely on the heavy hitters down the road, and hopefully they'll come back and prove to him what's going on. We'll see. But Takesha was in action. He would defend the international championship against Adam Cole and won with the help of MJF's ring. What's going on? We know that MJF looking towards Don Callis to help alleviate some of the folks out. And I guess that's what he did tonight with Adam Cole, making it harder for Adam Cole to get a win. So you know how that be going. Also, too, the Hurt Business, better yet, the Hurt Syndicate. I'm so used to calling them the Hurt Business, so they're now the Hurt Syndicate. MVP Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, all talking about MVP, talking about Swerve. Swerve will go one on one against Bobby Lashley at Full Gear. This is going to be a match that everyone's going to be buzzing about. Bobby Lashley making his AEW debut, in ring debut at Full Gear against Swerve. And the Swerve said, Bobby Lashley, Full Gear. You just felt so, you know what? Hey, it is what it is. But we saw Bobby Lashley saying that he want to get his hands on Swerve. Them the only two matches that kind of interested me: the Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay, and the Bobby Lashley and Swerve Strickland. Well, Bobby Lashley made an example out of Swerve tonight by putting the hurt lock on the full Nelson, trying to choke out Swerve. Swerve was incapacitated. Swerve's gonna have a lot on his plate against a former multi-time world champion in Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley gonna bring the hurt to Swerve. Swerve gonna get himself together. I can tell you that right now. But we know that Roger Strong won his match tonight. He gets a win. And we know Takesha won his match tonight. Even to the point that we see the Death Riders, the BBC, they used to be called BBC, and Will Yuta looking at Claudio. Claudio told Yuta don't pay attention to her, and John Moxley saying, "Hey, you want Yuta, you'll get Yuta." After Orange Cassidy wants to knock some sense into Will Yuta, we know that Moxley will set to defend the world championship against Orange Cassidy at Full Gear. Orange Cassidy said he's going to wrestle him to defeat him to become world champion. So Orange Cassidy will have his hands full coming up. If Orange Cassidy can defeat Will Yuta, this be the first step to do what he need to do to get some sense out of Will Yuta and beat some sense out of him if he have to. Don't have to do what he had to do, but you know how that be. Dr. Britt Baker was in action. Britt Baker, we haven't seen her in a while. Britt Baker was in action tonight. She went against Penelope Ford. Britt Baker defeated Penelope Ford in a classic showing. I don't know what's next for Britt Baker going forward. Britt Baker wins her match tonight over Penelope Ford. We also saw that Julia Hart may be returning back to the dark side. We haven't seen Julia in a while. Julia with the vignettes and stuff coming back. We'll tell you a little bit later what's going on with Julia and her team a little bit later on in the show. Well, we know this. AEW announced that the Continental Classic is coming back. The Continental Classic will start on Dynamite on Thanksgiving Eve in 2 weeks in Chicago. The Continental Classic starts 2 weeks in Chicago. And we'll see that coming forward and how that will be heading our way and stuff. Also, too, we know that Daniel Garcia will go against Jack Perry 1-on-1 for the TNT Championship. That's gonna match Daniel Garcia wants to win. Daniel Garcia gets a shot at Jack Perry for the TNT Championship. That Perry with that beard, looks ridiculous with that beard. It looks like his dad, but hey, that'd be. Speaking of that, we told you about Julia Hart getting back into character. So hey, Julia Hart's getting into character a little bit. But this don't mind that. But her team of the House of Black was in action. No one contendership for the tag team championships. FTR trying to mock the House of Black. Who's in next in line to get a shot at the tag team championships against Private Party? Well, we know that the House of Black was doing everything they can. Even Dax fell flat on his face by Brick Brody King falling Dax real flat on his face. I think Dax took that and Dax tried to get opening, but it was too little too late after we found out that the House of Black defeated FTR got defeated by the House of Black. We thought FTR was the heavy favorites to win it, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. It looked like the House of Black's next in line were shot at the tag team championships against Private Party at Full Gear. Big Bro Lee and Malachi Black shot at the tag team championships at Full Gear. All right, that ends the AEW Dynamite Ring report. We move forward. We move forward to this. Told you MVP said that on Wrestling Hot Topics. MVP said tonight that he had something that he's going to reveal something about WWE, and that WWE didn't really take him serious, saying that the Hurt Business could have been bigger like WWE in the WWE, but they didn't want to do so. And I kind of believe him. I think the Hurt Business was on their way, and then all of a sudden, remember 2020, Bobby Lashley coming out trying to win wins in 2021. He did so by winning the title. And then a couple months later, they just told the Hurt Business to disband out of nowhere. It just, the Hurt Business was doomed to fail. It's like, hopefully, that's what the Street Profits was saying, that they're trying to mention Lashley, but they couldn't mention Lashley. After Lashley is with AEW now, and maybe the Street Profits might be in tow coming down the road. But MVP saying that Street Profits and AEW are going to be way bigger, and they're going to have more stability and more long lasting than it did in WWE. Hope so, and I think Tony Khan kind of recognized that. And you got Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin in your roster, so hopefully you'll do it. Speaking of that, we heard right here, John Cena has announced that he'll be entering the Royal Rumble in February. And John Cena, this will be his last Royal Rumble as an in-ring competitor, marking the 20-year anniversary. Cena saying that he could perhaps win the Royal Rumble and get a shot at the championship for the last time as an in-ring competitor. So John Cena on his farewell tour coming up, and John Cena could be doing so like that coming up. So, hey, who knows what Cena's in store for Cena, but hey, we're looking forward to seeing it. All right. We're going to leave you with the House of Black. The House of Black. Number one contenders for the tag team championship. Britt Brody King and Alistair Black. Malachi Black, I meant to say. Malachi Black getting a shot at the tag team championships at Full Gear against Private Party. Can they do it? We'll see. Thanks for watching the Pro Wrestling Show. I've been your host as always, Kendrick Dick, saying so long. We'll see you this Friday for the SmackDown Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.